Hi, Taima.
Michelle, I just made you co-host.
Excellent. Thank you. Hi, Bree. Hi, Liberty.
Hi.
Hmm.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, we'll see if we have people show up. I know the one board member, there's Rachel, who said she could join, said she can't join till after 1. So we will see her then. Rachel, Sheila. Oh, Sheila's here. That's good. Hi, welcome.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yay, 2 board members. Rachel, I haven't seen you for forever. Thanks for joining.
Hey, Michelle, it's so nice to see you again.
All right, we'll wait just a couple more minutes. There's Monica. Ah, there's your face, Rachel.
Always with a smile, too.
Yep. Okay.
Should we also post little reminders in the channels, like the other graduates?
Sure, I can throw one in there. Thanks, Taima. All right, let me pull up our slides and we can get started. I always forget to click on the presenter view first. Okay, here's Sarah. Oh my goodness.
Hey,
Sarah,
hey,
thanks for
hey.
joining. Share my screen. All right. I hope everyone can see that. Let me make sure I have my chat somewhere where I can also see it.
I am seeing your deck very well.
Thank you. It's always helpful to have someone verbally confirm. Okay, so welcome everyone to our org-wide meeting. As usual, we like to start by asking, what can you leave at the door? So let's think of something. You can verbally say it or throw it in the chat. I think I'm going to leave lunch at the door. And what we mean by that, in case you are not familiar, that basically is just our way of saying, like, what is pulling your mind away that you want to let go of for now so that you can focus on this meeting. Oh, an interview in 25 minutes, Sarah. I hope you're ready. Okay. Scheduling a dentist appointment. Oh, fun. Other meetings. Yep. Cool. Oh, to-do list. The classic answer. Awesome.
My brother's prescription at the door. I'm waiting on that, so it's on my
Oh,
mind.
okay. Daima, if that happens in the middle of your slides, let me know and I can try to cover for you. Okay. Well, thank you for leaving those items at the door. We are going to move into 3 cleansing breaths and stretching. So let's do those cleansing breaths to let go of the things we're leaving at the door. All right, and some good stretching. Get those muscles out of sitting mode, I guess. Okay, cool. Well, as you all know, our mission is to help women and non-binary adults seeking economic empowerment overcome barriers into tech careers. Here is our agenda for today. Honestly, it is the same agenda we've been using for the last several org-wide meetings, just with different names and different details. So let's dive in. The first, I decided to just combine all of our updates because, yeah, there were a whole bunch and they were kind of all related. So, yeah, since the last org-wide meeting, so much has happened. We said goodbye to Christina and Amanda. We received some tough feedback about what was happening with the cohort and their schedule. So we quickly came up with changes and additional support to help the cohort succeed. We graduated 9 more software engineers and placed 5 of them at Sony PlayStation, which was honestly a pleasant surprise because they initially told us it was going to be 4. So 5 was excellent. We also raised $338 on Giving Tuesday and $1,875 after sharing a fundraising ask last month. We did post a few videos about people's experience joining the tech industry, thanks to Liberty's ideas and putting those videos together. We continued our monthly study groups. Christina has been kind enough to continue hosting those, even though she's not technically working for Tectonica anymore, and I think that's really awesome. We nearly closed one consulting partnership, and I will talk about the consulting again in a minute, but ultimately decided it was not a good fit for us. And we learned the hard way that DreamHost had made some changes to their services, and so we had to change up our website. So if you ran into it being down the last few months, that is what. And I think we're still trying to figure out what exactly happened or is happening. So that's fun. We also started another round of performance reviews for Tectonica employees. So for those of you who have been involved in that and submitted those, thank you for doing that. We continued our weekly community safety meetings and discussed the engagement and like the needs of the seekers and how we could adjust those. We also came up with very detailed docs outlining kind of the answers to questions people had about placements. And then we saw a few graduates who were offered full-time roles at the end of their placements, which is super awesome, and others who were unfortunately part of layoffs. We also here's a super interesting one I just realized recently. We surpassed giving out $1 million in stipends. So, wow. I don't know if I ever thought we would see that day, but here it is. Also, let me move this out of the way so I can see the rest of my notes. Okay. We also, fun fact, Sunday is Tectonica's 8th birthday. So, yeah, hooray, 8 years. The official birthday, anyway. It started before that. And then I also want to discuss more about just kind of the general state of the industry right now and how that has affected Tectonica. We, like, I think everyone here knows that there have been a lot of layoffs and tech companies have been investing less in the EIB initiatives. So it's been tough. Like, as you all know, we rely on sponsorships in order to provide our services. And that has, by not having those, we've had to make a lot of adjustments. So, for example, late last year, after we'd already started the application process, we decided that we wouldn't be offering a full-time cohort during the first half of this year. So there is not a full-time cohort happening right now. Um, and but we did start another round of the Seeker program for graduates who are looking for jobs and made sure that it had a schedule and check-ins and mock interviews and tried to just provide support there because the job search right now is so hard. It has taken a lot of people a really long time to find a new role. Um, yeah, I don't know how long that is going to last. We don't know if this is like the bottom of the cycle and it's going up from here or if it's going to keep going down. So our team has just acknowledged that for a long time and had a lot of discussions about our future and yeah, basically what we decided. Well, let me back up and say we kept saying this is how much funding we have left. Let's make a decision about what we're going to do on April 17th. So that was a week ago today. And I'm happy to say that we had some funding come in for the first time in 8 months a few weeks ago. It wasn't enough to get us through an entire new cohort, but when we met to discuss last week, we decided, yes, let's offer another cohort, but as kind of a compromise, it's not going to be a 6-month cohort. It's going to be a little shorter, and we're going to figure out how to raise enough to cover the last few weeks of it. But we're making sure to be very transparent about that. We've been editing the program page to reflect that, and we'll just keep being very transparent about what's going on with that. We also, you probably noticed, launched a new consulting offering for partners so that we could give the graduates in the Seeker program experience with consulting and to bring in some revenue. We have not had any partners actually take us up on that yet, but that is an option that we are still running past potential partners. But honestly, like coming up with this entirely new offering, a brand new program was a lot of work. It required a lot of research and planning, and I am so proud of the team for their hard work on this. In fact, I was out of town for a big part of that, and they handled it. It was amazing. I am so proud of all of the hard work they did. We are ready for that first consulting partner to sign on, and we will make it happen. But yeah, we couldn't do that without all of the planning and infrastructure that we put in place for that. So way to go. We also will be offering paid virtual workshops, and those would be open to anyone who wants to join them. So watch for those. We, on like the first or second day we started talking about this, already had a whole list of ideas for workshops that we could offer. One that I'm wanting to offer is automatic investing so you can retire someday. So we will be doing those, and hopefully that'll bring people some value and bring us a little bit more revenue. So there you go. What else? Oh, also, we decide we're going to adopt a tuition-based model in addition to the placement sponsorships. So what we'll be doing is offering need-based sliding scale tuition to participants who can afford it. And for those who can't, they would be eligible to be considered for stipends and for scholarships for the tuition. So we're hoping the people who can afford it can help offset the cost for those who can't. And yeah, hopefully these different plans we have for diversifying the revenue will make it possible for us to continue serving people. Yeah, let me think. Was there anything else I wanted to add about that? Oh, I did just want to say, like, that's also something you'll see extensively outlined and changed on the full-time program page. So we are making sure to be very transparent about that as well. I will also say, like, that was a hard decision for us to make because we were like, are we putting up a barrier? But looking back at past applications, every single round we've had people apply who weren't actually eligible according to the income guidelines. And so we're expecting that will happen again, and those people could then hopefully pay the tuition and still take part in the program. We would be helping break down other barriers for them, and by charging them tuition, we would be breaking down barriers for the other participants. So we figured it was a win-win-win, however many wins you want to throw in there, and we'll see how it goes.
Hey, Michelle, real quick on that
Yes,
one.
Sheila.
Are you gonna, there's the extensive application process and prepping and stuff. So will folks who don't like meet the income threshold for free tuition, will they just be told, will they have the same standards? And it's just simply that we would say, hey, you don't meet this, but we can give you reduced tuition, but then they
Yeah,
still go
so
through the
it's
same process?
sliding scale, and basically depending on how much they have in their savings, we will adjust the amount of tuition.
Okay. But will it be the same application process?
Oh, I see. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And are we going to have targets for how many people we want to be paying tuition? The reason why I'm wondering is like, if you've got lots of like not good applicants, but they can pay, and lots of great applicants, but they can't, if we go with the best applicants, we're not making money.
Right.
And so, and maybe it's something that's still in flight to figure
Yeah,
out that
that
right
was one
balance.
thing we thought about too, because there's no saying how well the people who uh, in the past have not been at the income level needed to apply,
Right.
like how well they would do, because we just said, well, you weren't eligible.
Right.
So we are not sure. Dayuma actually asked the same question, and if we had people paying the full amount of 18,000, we would need 2.22 people to pay that to cover the rest of the cohort. But since it's going to be sliding scale, that could be like a few people, and we will see. If that doesn't work, if that doesn't actually help us close that gap, we will figure out something else, because that's what we do at Tectonica. We try one thing, and when that doesn't work, we try something else. Yeah.
I also want to chime in to the second part of the question about the quality of applicants. They're going through the exact same process as the people who wouldn't be paying, or who would be paying like a sliding scale. So the quality of the applicant itself is not being compromised. They still kind of have to meet every single other eligibility. The income piece is just a little.
Yeah, I think it could lead to some tricky conversations, right? If you've got like over a subscription of qualified candidates, some can pay, some cannot. I think there'll be some tricky conversations that and possibly, ones that will not feel aligned to what you're used to, right? Where we might have to say, in order to cover the cost of this cohort, we need to prioritize somebody who can pay a little bit of tuition, equally qualified, not any less qualified, but equally qualified as over somebody who can't. And that could be just tricky. I mean, throwing it out there, but like that may be the hard conversation that we're going to be having to have, just to make sure that the organization can keep helping
Right.
everybody and more people, sort of putting the needs of the organization and the broader good over the specific choices there. That could be tricky.
Yeah, right now there is no plan to prioritize those who can pay, but yeah, we haven't yet opened applications, so not sure what they're going to look like, and we will do what we usually do, which is figure it out and see how it goes, So thanks for that. Cool. Well, we have done many other things, but some really excellent, awesome two things that we've done is we hired people. The first is Bree, our new technical program manager. Bree, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. Some of you already know me, some of you are new faces. So a little bit about me. I'm a former Tectonica grad, and I'm very excited to be able to give back to the community in this way. I have a sort of broad background in graphic design and tutoring, as well as working at Stack Overflow as a software developer. So I'm really excited to be bringing all of my experiences into strengthening this program. I really take a lot of joy in being a part of other people's growth. For those who are curious to know a bit more about me, I am based in San Francisco. I'm a parent of one kid, and I have 2 dogs and way too many plants, and I spend a lot of my free time painting. And it's nice to meet all these new faces here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bree. It's excellent having you as part of the team. And then the other person we hired is Liberty as our partnerships manager. Liberty, could you please tell us a bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm excited. This is my first organization-wide meeting, so I'm super, super excited about that. I am based in this magical land called Austin, Texas. I always say that to people in case you're not sure where that is. Coming from Silicon Valley to Austin, and my background encompasses pretty much the core of I love technology. I absolutely love being a person who introduces new concepts and new ideas in order to help founders, in order to help students, early stage career, and get them involved in tech. My sweet spot is my background is TV and film and podcasting as well. And my sweet spot is building relationships with key stakeholders in tech companies and helping them really connect with a younger demographic, younger audience, and really get them in that early stage career to kind of funnel. Top of funnel is where I typically play. I love it because you get to have key partners to help you execute on changing lives. And for me, that is really what impact is about, because you can't have impact if you don't have the funding to do it. So that's really what I love and bring together. And I will say about me, kind of personally, Bree has inspired me in a conversation I think the team had to get plants. So I saw the comments in the chat about plants, and I realized last week that I was the only person on the team that didn't have one, and I got one, and I'm going to reveal my plant in our next meeting.
Yes, I was wondering about that during our team meeting on Monday, and then I forgot to ask about it. Liberty, I'm excited about your plant. Cool. One question that just popped up was how we decided on the amount for the top of the scale for tuition for those who will be charged tuition. And basically, it was just a lot of research. We looked at many different training programs like Hackbright and App Academy and General Assembly and others. And then because they were all different lengths, we divided by the weeks of the program. And I think the range was something like 1,200 to 1,800 per week. So we went with 1,000 per week. So it's a little lower than other programs, but up there enough that it'll help pay for some of it. So to be clear, like even the top of the scale is not enough to cover a full participation in the cohort. Yeah, it kind of is just subsidized that way. So yeah. Okay, excellent. Breakout rooms number 1. So we're gonna move into breakout rooms of 3 to 4 people, hopefully. And please introduce yourselves. This is just a fun way for us to get to know more people in the community, and share your pronouns, your relation to Tectonica, and something awesome from the last 6 months. And then if you all can't think of anything else to talk about, a fun little prompt is, what are you grateful for? So we will be in there for just like 4 or 5 minutes. So it's going to go fast, but I hope you will all have lots of fun. And let's see, with 13 people, we need like 4 or 5 rooms. All right, ready, set, go. You should all have a thing on your screen inviting you to a breakout room. So hop in there.
Just now.
Congratulations, now you know.
I didn't know either.
Welcome back, everyone. I was just remarking that Malika's shirt is millennial pink, and apparently that was news to some people. Okay. Let me make sure we are all good to go. The sharing is up, the recording is up. I see all of you. Excellent. Okay, now we are going to have Liberty talk a bit about partnerships. Liberty, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I get excited when I talk about this, but I will keep it brief so everyone else will get a chance at the mic. Hello, everyone. I just want to give a quick overview so we can really understand what our partnerships looks like and what our opportunities are right here. You guys are familiar with Tectonica as a whole, so you know what we offer, but I just want to outline what our partnerships offerings are currently. So one is our traditional flagship program that we have, which is the 6-month training program that we're all familiar with. And it's so great to see some smiling faces from that training program in the breakout session. I enjoyed that conversation. And the second offering that we have, and Michelle talked about a bit earlier, was the new launch for 2024 of the Tectonica Consulting, which is the project-based. So it's not necessarily a sponsor coming in to sponsor someone through a 6-month training program. It is project-based, and Michelle briefly talked about how we've been really talking to partners as far as our consulting, but didn't close any specific ones on that, but we had some challenges that we learned from. So that was very good. And the third one is the placement. So these are the 3 ways that people can currently interact and currently partner with Tectonica through the traditional flagship program that we all know and love and huge fans of. And then the second being the consulting, which is project-based, which is identified and really targeted towards founders, really targeted towards teams that have extra work where they need testing, but they don't necessarily want to do it in-house. They can reach out to us and partner with us in order to get that done. And then lastly, the hiring. So someone, if they do not have the budget to sponsor someone through the entire program, or if they don't need consulting services, but they do want to hire someone, we are happy to send that to our community and place one of our participants there. So that is the current. And the next slide here, we're looking at the July 2024 hiring partner. One of the most exciting things that has happened over the past couple months is our continued support from Sony. And I got a chance to chat in the previous breakout session with one of our Sony participants, and now is currently working there. So that's super exciting to see that manifest into a real life 3D person and not just a person on the screen. So initially we thought we had 4 placements, but we have 5. And I kind of go into detail, I think on the next slide a bit, that we have, yes, 5 placements. That's very exciting because we thought that we had a different number. And so they've confirmed that they're looking to fill 5 roles from Tectonica, and that's across 5 different teams. And we already have information which will definitely help us from the participant standpoint. We've streamlined our rates, we've streamlined our starting dates, and currently working to begin that participant match, and they are starting July 2024. So that is very, very good news. I'm really excited about that. And when we look at what the future of funding and really engaging in the 3 ways that we talked about and we outlined, obviously, as Michelle talked about earlier, we have new opportunities and new revenue streams as far as the online goes. But looking at the key things as far as the program in itself, we're looking at how we're going to relaunch and reintroduce and re-engage, because we have taken note, and I will commend the team for this, for just being able to pivot at the drop of a dime. And I think that's so important due to the climate that we're experiencing. People are shifting budgets and shifting funding constantly. So when you think someone is getting on board and you've done so much, then they're like, oh, we can't do it this time. We'll revisit in a couple of months. So we'll revisit later. So we're looking at new ways that we can relaunch, reintroduce, and re-engage our email lists, re-engage our decision makers, and really put them at the forefront and learn exactly what is it that they're looking for, so we can get funding and we can actually get sponsorship and continue the mission for Tectonica. And I would love to invite everyone on the call and everyone watching this replay to feel free to reach out to me not only if you know anyone, but if you might know someone who knows someone. I would love it if you know someone who knows someone, to give them my email, reach out, and it's right there, lmadison@tectonica.org, excuse me. And I want to point this out because one of the things that I've noticed from being on partner calls and on sponsor calls is people that come from a warm introduction, not necessarily a cold email or a blast. Those relationships are so important because they're willing to get on a phone call. They're willing to get on a Zoom, and they have a complete different respect level for Tectonica. So I would love it if there's any sort of warm introductions that you may have from engineering managers, software engineers, workforce development, and any of those thoughts that you may know a founder who may need some additional technical support. Please feel free to reach out, and I'm happy to see how we can structure a way to get them the technical solutions that they need. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Liberty. So program updates, Bree.
Hello again, everyone. So updates. So for the past 6 months, we've been focused on trying to secure consulting projects, and we've been focused on supporting our full-time seeker program and listening to their accountability and job-seeking needs, and trying to sort of roll with the punches and update how we do things as needed, including adding mock interviews and resume reviews and networking advice and much more. And to add to that, we also, as just previously mentioned, we got 5 new placements with Sony PlayStation for our grads to pursue, which is very nice. And other than updating the curriculum and the program to keep up with our changing needs, other things that we've had in the works include developing a built-in donation feature into the site to allow for more direct donations. And we're designing paid Skillshare workshops so that we can also fundraise while continuing to make skill development something that is more accessible to those in need. And very excited to see those come to fruition. Oh yeah, and our application process opens soon. So stay tuned.
I think Daima wanted to go a little more in detail on this one. Do you want me to do that, or do you want to do that, Bree?
Take it away, Michelle.
Okay. Yeah, we do plan to have that the next cohort start in July. So as said before, since it'll be a 5-month cohort, it'll be done in November instead of December, like the usual timeline. I mentioned all the other things, so we can go on to the next one. How you can help. Do you want to do this, Bree? Nope. Okay. So, yeah, here are several options. If you would like to help, you can offer office hours or mentoring. You can volunteer at the incoming application workshops. We always especially love to have mentors and graduates participate as volunteers in those workshops because you have a great idea of what is needed to make it through the program successfully. And like I have heard a million times from graduates that it's actually really satisfying attending those because you can see where you used to be and all of the progress you've made since then. So if you want a little pick me up, please sign up for one of those application workshops. You can also sign up to conduct mock interviews. We are doing events that are mock interviews for the seekers, so the people who are looking for jobs can get some extra practice. You can offer a speaker or brown bag session, or you can help facilitate a study session. So, yeah, there are lots of ways. And let's move into our second round of breakout rooms. Let me recreate those really fast. Let's see. And it'll be just a few minutes. You can start with the same thing, and then a new prompt is, what are your favorite ways to let go and recharge that you would recommend to others? Okay, I think these are new rooms, so have fun for just a few minutes, and then I'll send you back out here. All right. Yeah, we basically have reached the end of our updates, but I hope you really enjoyed getting to know some people in your groups. Does anyone want to share anything you've learned about someone else or any advice they shared or anything?
Yeah, like let me see.
Alicia,
Let me
hi.
think. Hi, Michelle.
Great to see you.
Michelle. Yeah, you too. You look good. Happy, right? As I'm saying, you look happy. I was in a room with Bree and Leia, and it was really cool to hear that they were part of the cohort in 2021. And they graduated, and now Bree is the technical program manager. So so that's really cool. That kind of remind me of, I think of, was it like Talia or something? So yeah, so she did the same thing. So yeah, that was cool. And we all like to go to the spa. That's what we like to do, the unwind. We love the spas.
Amazing. Thanks so much. Awesome. Last chance. Anyone else want to share something? Oh, I see a puppy. Oh. That must be, is that I always forget which one's gravy and which one's biscuit. Is that the
Biscuit.
That's biscuit. I almost guessed biscuit. Okay. Excellent. Well, the other tradition we have at the end of our meetings is for us to do our group screenshot. So, if you feel comfortable turning your video on, please switch that on for a second. And we will take a quick screenshot. Let's see. I have so many windows. This is really hard. Okay, there we go. I've got the right view. You all look fantastic. And oh, even the cat's ready. Okay, on three, everybody smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I took a few. Thank you for joining. The one last thing I have to share is that we have a form in case anyone feels so inclined to provide feedback about the event. I just put the link in the chat, so thanks for joining, and if you want to share anything in there, that would be great. But otherwise, we're just so happy you were here, and yeah, you know where to find us on Slack. So we'll see you again soon, I hope. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.